Here's a story from Kenya that was published back in January of this year, referring to a documentary that was filmed about Jim Nduruchi in the fall of 2015. What he was trying to do was, they demanded 750,000 shilling from him on the pretext that they would help clear his name in the media, hence that documentary expose that was done. You can read the rest of the article here on this video, but the thing is had Jim been innocent of any wrongdoing, they would have never to get any initial payment from him in the first place, which they did. They did get some money from him, and then he went to the police and filed a complaint. But the thing is if you're innocent, you don't need to pay anybody off to put you in a good light or anything like that. And I'm fixing to show you guys the documentary that he tried to stop. We did have to get somebody to translate the Swahili into English for us, and some of it is they repeat a lot of things, but you'll get to see the whole thing, and it will clear up a lot of stuff that was recorded about him and the naysayers and everything that's been going on, and why we really want to bring this guy down, because he's a monster and he's a crook, he's a thief, he misrepresents himself to everybody, and he needs to go to jail.
Many people in Kenya, especially in rural areas, lack basic needs. Most of them have suffering jiggers outspread epidemic. Jiggers are troubling the young and the old as well, and there has not been a lasting solution to this problem. However, there are some organizations in Kenya that follow the victims in affected areas to remove the jiggers and give the victims shoes. But after a while, the condition worsens.
Kwanza imenisumbua sana kwa muda mrefu. Zimeingia mpaka mahali ambayo huwa nalala. Ndio sasa vile nimesikia tu ati kuna madaktari wanaingia huko. Nikajaribu juu chini nikaomba mandugu zangu pikipiki wakanileta ili pia nitibiwe.
These are the outskirts of Chwele village in Bungoma County, where Rise Up Society, which has its headquarters in Bungoma town, have arrived to assist jigger victims, led by its director, Jimmy Nduruchi.
This place is known as Sichei, is in Chwele sub-county.
In today's event, how many victims are you hoping to treat?
Today's target is at least 30 people. Others can't walk, so they are brought here on motorcycles, and some are carried. Some are carried on wheelbarrows, but they will all be here.
According to Nduruchi, these victims don't get treated in hospitals.
As we all know, our hospital do not treat jigger patients because they believe it's caused by dirt. So if you go to hospital, they will tell you to go home and shower.
He depends on donors to help treat victims. This organization has workers who are volunteers. They visit the victims in the village. But according to some former employees of this organization, a huge amount of donation does not go to the victims, as supposed to be, but instead is squandered by the founder, Jimmy Nduruchi. Kenneth Daviswa is one of them. He says that his life is now in danger for trying to expose the truth about Rise Up Society. He said he was attacked when he went to find out some information for the donors who had started doubting if their families were taken care of in Humusalaba.
This guy, I took him from the streets of Eldoret. He had nothing. I helped him and paid his rent. Then Naviswa went back to his village in Webuye.
He did hire me, then he was helping me like a friend.
I took him from Eldoret and I employed him to be my personal assistant and my driver.
In Bungoma, besides his office, there was a bedroom, and he told me that I was going to stay there.
I started feeling otherwise about this guy and I got mad with him.
He says that he fed me and showed the world to me, but when I was in his house, I even lost weight.
I realized that he started communication with our donors and we don't have local support.
He says he has been communicating with the donors via emails and phone.
When he called me to the organization, he claims that I was his driver, but he did not hire me to work as his driver. He called me to work as a communicator. I answered his emails from the donors abroad.
If you ask a woman like one you are seeing here and tell her, you know that he has been given 2 million, people will believe. You saw me with a camera. Poor people will see I'm using them to get funds.
He helped people, but he doesn't do what the donors sent money for. I read in his email that we are supposed to do a certain activity which we never did on time. For me to walk on these crutches, I was sent by a donor to take Mama Tina and her grandchildren. We left with a woman called Mary in Mkhusalaba. I showed her the email that was sent to me saying that Jim had eaten their $1,000. We left, and as we entered the road, we were attacked. Jim came out and said, "So it's Ken. I want him dead."
Viswa says he was with a friend, Kenneth Wekesa wa Mukota. It was 9th, Friday. Now Viswa told me I take him to Mama Tina, a place called Humusalaba. He took me as a friend, but also there was a plan to work together in future. He had a meeting. Me and the driver were aside. He finished his meeting, but when we were going out, we saw Mary, the lady who looks after Mama Tina. She had stood next to the road where also there was a parked car along the road. Naviswa came out of the car. We had parked the car near police station gate. So we moved the car away from the gate we had blocked. In a minute, he was attacked and came running to the car, opened the car door. I tried to come out to find what was going on, but I was also attacked by a stick on my hand, my leg and on my knee. He was using a Maasai stick, and I was being attacked by a huge guy. I had not recognized who he was and why he was attacking me. As we were near the police station, I ran for refuge to police, shouting, "We are being attacked." Then the attacker came and said, "Put this boy cuffs." I was not given time to speak. I was cuffed and taken behind bars. And Rebecca Muhatia, who was also an employee at Rise Up Society.
We were living at her place, coming to Mkhusalaba. Also in attendance was Mary, an area chief. As we entered the car, Jim Nduruchi attacked us with his group, also surrounded our car and started hitting us.
I was not attacked by anyone else but Jim Nduruchi, the person who was my employer. If I say I was beaten by someone else, then I would be lying.
The incident was confirmed by the officer at Humusalaba police station in Vihiga through a report made by Jimmy Nduruchi, who claimed that unknown people were attacked by members of the public.
All of a sudden, motor vehicle registration 3033, handwriting ya Jama, stopped behind them, and then again came in front, and the occupants who were on the boat, the boat 4, one will go in, alighted and speed to where they had parked the vehicle. So their intention were stopped after one and Jim and this worker met noticed that they were not good people. Members of public intervened, and the 3 of them managed to escape, known as leaving behind one of them.
Rise Up Society leader had something to say about his former workers whose intentions, as he says, is to take away his donors.
There are people who've been sponsoring. Then Naviswa tell them, I was given more money to build their house with 60 iron sheet, but we bought 14 iron sheet, and speculation and lies that enemies do.
He claims that he did not fire them, but they left.
About firing them, I did not. They left on their own when they got information from abroad that they are the ones speculating lies. For Mary Goretti, as you saw the signboard about our SACCO, we have taken Mary Goretti to court. She has squandered money that is not mine. People shares about 2.1 million shillings. Our lawyer took a letter. The case is in court.
According to former general manager of the organization, Mary Goretti Wanjala from Bengelwa village in Bungoma,
I started working in 2012 when we met, and I was just a cook in Rise Up. I was cooking for them. There were those who were educated and are the ones who did file work. Jim trained me to go and tell people that Rise Up is a society by white people who are coming to help people, even me. He gave me my donor picture. That donor will help me out of poverty, but ever since, I have never had any help from a donor. All the people who are given pictures of their donors, no one has been helped. He formed SACCO, which came after the society. We were going to people and teach them to start saving. They were to start saving small, since Rise Up was a small NGO starting from 50, 100 and above, and you could get a loan price of the savings to Rise Up SACCO, which is impossible to get. Just a few that was given.
Jimmy started the SACCO to help victims, but now he claims that Mary Goretti disappeared with money from contributors.
When money was flowing in, I got many promotion because I convinced many people who saved a lot. One time he collected 100,000, he picked it from my house. And thus I was taken to his office, and I have my records where it was signed. Other cash we sent him through his mobile phone, M-Pesa. There was no bank account for the savings they took.
Then it rose another accusation from the villagers, those who ever had or were involved with Rise Up Society.
This guy called Jim Nduruchi came to our village and said, we create a group called Milo Pambazuka Self-Help Group. He came and convinced us to start the group, and we all started contributing money. We contributed. We were more than 80 members who contributed 1,000 shillings each for microfinance, registration fee, loan processing fee, and proposal fee. It was altogether over 30,000 shillings. That was in the year 2012. We took this money to his office as the director for Rise Up. He then said we contribute maize corn. He started more stake. He started something called Windows Basket. We contributed a lot of maize and said he will come to pick it to the store. He never came for it. He left like that. I wrote to his Facebook page and told him that is not okay. I wrote to his page book and said, the way you are doing your work, try to remember the people and projects you left behind. That is when he told Joseph Walukai to block me from his Facebook page, and that was the end. He disappeared with all the money, and we don't have a way to get it back unless we seek a way to make him return our group money.
We had a Rise Up account at Cooperative Bank where I was a signatory, but there was no money in that account. Money was being brought on the table and given to accountant, then he took it to the director. I one time asked the accountant if they took the money, but he asked me, I'm asking that as who? And Jim want all the money to him. Most of the accountants were fired because when they say money should be taken to the bank, Jim fires them, and when we ask he says that they still take. Most of the accountants were fired because When they say money should be taken to the bank, Jim fires them. And when he asks, he says that they steal from him. Everyone that gets out of Rise Up is labeled a thief.
Rebecca.
After that, our life is in danger because on Saturday, he came to my home, he did not find me. He asked the kids, they told him I left and they don't know where. He told the kids he will be back. Since then, he hasn't come back, but he is calling and saying he wants to do me an act that I have never seen in my life.
In a general meeting, first thing he asked me is, Mary Goretti, say where is the money? And I answered him, you have all the money we gave you. I did not fear or doubt because that was the truth. Rise Up Sacco money is with you, Jim.
People have done crazy things to bring down this society, and it was a nice society that could have helped people, but people are just bad.
He has sent 500 shillings to a guy called Were to buy a padlock. If you see that woman beat her up, shout thief, thief, and throw her down the building. I will know what to give you.
I want to be quoted. If Jim Nduruchi kills me, it's okay, but I'll die as a hero.
Society has officers in more than 5 counties in Kenya. At Kisumu Ndogo slum in Eldoret, Rise Up officer Pamela Ombacho claims her life is in danger too, because the contributors of Rise Up Society Sacco are demanding for refunds.
They had gone to the field, they took people's money, and those people are not getting the loans as promised. And there is child sponsorship that they promised the poor kids, but they never did that. We have collected money from orphaned people and kids' pictures. We registered each with 1,500 shillings that they will be educated and bought school uniforms and everything, but they did not do so. Now child sponsorship, we took child picture, uniforms, shoes, and details of their school, size of shoe and sweater. He lies to them they will get also bags, but all in vain.
All as this happens, Jimmy says he has given his life to help Jigger victims.